Wondering what you're gonna ask me today. Don't start with how was your race, because I throw my microphone away and I started riding a bike because my brother Luca is 6 years older than me. He was already racing a bike. I just grew up into his life, you know. My parents decided to buy a PV50. Their intention was not to put me on immediately, but as soon as I saw it, I started to cry because I wanted to try. From that day, I started immediately without training wheels. During the weekend we were going racing with my brother. I was just riding around the paddock the whole day and coming back to the camper only when I had an empty fuel tank. When I was 15, at my very first year in the World Championship, I got the chance to race for Yamaha in a satellite team.
Picking her lines nice and easily. With Chiara Fontanesi.
My dad at the beginning, he was not very sure because he didn't want to put me in the hands of somebody else, and he also was not sure if he wanted me to ride the World Championship. I said we have to take this opportunity, and luckily we did. That year I won my very first moto with a 125 in Europe, and since then we saw that I had the possibility to, one day fight for the World Championship. After the first year, we decided to do it on our own. We built our own team, kept going with the MX Fonte Racing team since then to now. A big reason of why I could achieve so much during the years is because I always had a great team. My family, my dad knows perfectly how to put the bike in terms of suspension. And my brother always did the electronic. He always been a rider and he know what I need. Everything was managed by us and everything was going around me, my races and my results. My family is my first supporter and they walk with me in the same direction. I trust them 100%. My very first championship win has been taken in England. For sure it's something that will last forever in my heart. Already one was already something great, and to win 4 in a row was incredible.
A 4-time world champion, Chiara Fontanesi, and Yamaha world champions again.
A girl to succeed in motocross need a really strong mind, be talented, and of course need to have a physical condition which is very good. I think my strength point as a racer is my head. I'm mentally really strong. When you're really tired and you still have to push because you need to be on a certain time or a certain repetition, it's there where your mind needs to come out and say you can do it, I think also I'm a talented girl because when I was a kid I never really was training and I was still winning, and I just learned how to make a good corner or how to, wait for scrub or keep the bike low in the jumps. And if you are able to do that without nobody telling you, it's because you have your talent inside yourself. Nobody ever teach me riding a bike, no one. It's something that I think I have in my blood. The reason why I came back after the 6th time I won, it's because I only had one dream left, which was to win a title being a mom. For sure, I want to prove myself that even after a pregnancy, I can still be the fastest and still be at the top and fighting for the World Championship. So as soon as I could, 1 month after I gave birth, I was back on the bike.
Only 12 points separate the top 4 riders, Duncan Papamaya, Fontanesi and Van der Ven.
And I was still fast, I needed time to be back at my level, but it means that I was ready to participate and I was training almost every day. I was lining up behind the gate in Matterley Basin 2020, only 3 months after I gave birth. And that for me was already a big achievement because my mind always wanted to be back, but you never know until you get there.
Third overall this weekend, the KTM of Chiara Fontanesi.
And when I could finish on the podium already at the first round, it was just really amazing for me and something that I was just like speechless. The season this year is going very well. I've been very consistent apart the first round where I had a bad luck and I lost a lot of points, but for the rest I've been on the podium every round. I won 3 of 4 motos in Turkey, which was very good. 4 motos, very intense. The all 4 finished almost the same, you know, apart the first one. I think that has been one of the greatest battles I've had. That was a proof to myself and to my family that if I say something, I can reach it. We don't prepare strategies before the season, especially in these couple years, you know, with the COVID situation. You never know when you're gonna race, if the race is going to stay there, so difficult to make plans. What I do, and it's what I always did, it's to focus each motos in what I have to do. So step by step, not thinking on the final result, not thinking on I have to do that instead of that.
Just keep moving forward, forward and faster, faster, stronger, stronger. Just keep flying further, further and wiser, wiser, higher, higher. Take the limits up.
The way you train has changed. Before it was more about riding and racing. Now I wouldn't be so good if I would just ride a bike and not training physically. There's no specific area where you train, it's just about whole body because on the bike you move everything, like really everything. So it's important to be fit enough to try to avoid the injuries. When I started, which is not ages and ages ago, but the bike has changed a lot and we have ECU, traction control, things like that, that you can work so much on that. And when I started, I didn't have all that. So everything is developing year by year. So then you need to be always at the same level. Inside myself, I always want to be the best in everything I do. And I give everything I have. If you want to become a world champion, you need to work hard. I wish that I could have had the possibility to have somebody like me back in the days telling me how I should train, what I should do. That's why we decided to give the opportunity to the others, exactly what I didn't have when I was younger. This is basically why we opened the KFA. Everything that I do, how I became a champion, how I kept being a champion, how I could take a year off, have a baby, come back, work hard and be back at the top has something to do with the academy because our academy is based on our experience. This is what we want to give to the young people that comes to train, to be able to teach them that you need to want it in your mind, you need to work hard, be consistent. And what I did, coming back, you are more trusted if you have a story to tell and to prove than if you have never did something in your life. I think this is really a big part of our trust in the academy. My parents, they thought that I would stop one day because I'm a girl and they said, okay, she will be interested in something else, but in the end now, I'm still here racing and basically all the families involved in the team, probably something that nobody would have ever thought. I feel like, wow, I'm 27, I won 6 times the World Championship. I had a baby and I'm still there at the top of the world. It means that I'm still able to do what I'm doing. Becoming a mom doesn't mean that you need to sit home and stop living.
Here we are, temperature 16 degrees, barely a cloud in the sky over the Dolomite Mountains. Most picturesque racetrack that we have in Europe, possibly. Fontanesi, starting on pole position, as she so often does. Fontanesi, upside down on the top of the hill. Has that pretty much decided the championship?
I already forget about what happened because it's not something that you need to think about, because it's not that I've been doing mistake. It's something that happened to me for no reason. I mean, like, I just was the unlucky girl on track. I cannot, stay still and focus on that because it will take me nowhere. I was fast. I took the pole position at the last round again, so I know I can win. When you lose yourself. It's not the team that loses. And I think that's why individual sport makes you also stronger. This that happened this year made me stronger. It's not about winning. When you win, you don't get stronger. I was really happy to see all the family, friends and fans at the end of the podium. I wasn't expecting this at all. I mean, I was just with my daughter, going back to the van, and I was like, okay, now I need to get changed. It was the last race of the year. All of a sudden, I turned the corner and I saw all the people on the line waiting for me, and they even took me and made me jump in the air. There were many people that I didn't know that they were there cheering for me, and that was amazing. I was feeling like I won the championship. All of a sudden I was like, smiling and crying from joy because I made people proud anyway. This is why I race. I race and I want to win for moments like this. They show me that even if I did not win, we could still live with moments like this. I'm so happy that I could give everything I had, because nothing more frustrating than ending a championship and knowing that you could have give more. I gave everything I had, and that's why I'm happy anyway. What happened this year was out of my control. It was not my year. What happened just made me stronger. But I will train and fight again, and I will be back.
Preparing the space station for solar array upgrades, rolling out the spacecraft for our Artemis 1 mission, and the Webb Space Telescope team reaches another milestone. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. On March 15th, NASA astronauts Caleb Aaron and Rasha Shari conducted a 6-hour and 54-minute spacewalk outside the International Space Station to prepare the station for upcoming solar array upgrades. They built a support bracket onto which a future ISS rollout solar array, or IROSA, will be mounted. So far, 2 of 6 IROSAs have been deployed on station, with the other 4 arrays to be delivered on future missions. The arrays will eventually help increase the station's total available power from 160 kilowatts to up to 215 kilowatts. On March 17th, teams at our Kennedy Space Center began the rollout of the Space Launch System, or SLS, rocket and Orion spacecraft for our upcoming Artemis 1 moon mission. After the 4-mile journey from Kennedy's Vehicle Assembly Building to Launch Pad 39B, the integrated SLS rocket and Orion will eventually undergo a final pre-launch test known as the wet dress rehearsal. This involves loading the rocket's fuel tanks with propellant and conducting a launch countdown. The primary goals for Artemis 1 are to demonstrate Orion's systems in a spaceflight environment and ensure a safe re-entry, descent, splashdown, and recovery ahead of the first flight with astronauts on Artemis 2. Our James Webb Space Telescope team has reached another milestone in the critical process of aligning the telescope's mirrors. After completing fine phasing, a key alignment stage in the commissioning of Webb's optical telescope element, they found that every optical parameter that has been checked and tested is performing at or above expectations. Although there are months to go before Webb ultimately delivers its new view of the cosmos, reaching this milestone means the team is confident that Webb's first-of-its-kind optical system is working as well as possible. Learn more about the Webb mission at webb.nasa.gov. Flight operations for our Ingenuity Mars helicopter have been extended through September. In the months ahead, Ingenuity, the first aircraft to operate from the surface of another world, will support our Perseverance rover's exploration of Jezero Crater. Ingenuity's mission extension comes on the heels of the technology demonstration's 21st successful flight on the Red Planet since April 2021. It was originally expected to attempt just up to 5 flights in 30 Martian days. Deep Space Station 53, or DSS-53, is the newest member of our Deep Space Network. This family of giant antennas enables engineers and scientists on Earth to communicate with a growing number of spacecraft exploring our solar system. The 111-foot DSS-53 antenna is now operational at the network's facility outside Madrid, Spain, one of 3 such ground stations around the globe. NASA officials and dignitaries from Spain and the U.S. attended an inauguration ceremony to mark the antenna's debut. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
How would I describe him in 3 words? Courageous, indomitable, wild. A prince, supremely elegant, impeccable, always in control.
His ideal weekend? Zipping off to the ocean.
Come Saturday, the tracks, they all had thanks for him.
Openings, events, vernissages, charity dinners, conferences. His social life is as hectic as can be.
The person he hangs out most with, himself.
His favorites? Rock and roll, opera, and jazz.
He comes to me twice a year.
His leather jacket is his uniform.
Definitely a good guy. A bad guy.
He's a mystery to me.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo. He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lambo.
He drives a Lamborghini Huracan Technica.
Lamborghini presents new Huracan Technica. Take all your souls to drive.
What I tend to look for when I go to places are things that are visually appealing. When you walk down the sand dunes here in St. Lucia, just thinking of the old shipwrecks or the explorers, the first thing they saw was these long beaches and impenetrable forest. They still look exactly the same. I can't imagine there are many places in the world where you can see tons of things in one day. I want to pinch my arm and say, this can't be true. I'm in the middle of this. I think the uniqueness is that it's diverse. You could peel off layer after layer and you'll find more and more things. It's all here for you to just be part of.
June 21st, 1964.
So I ask those killers, can you sleep again? Those three are on my mind.
In Philadelphia, Mississippi, 3 civil rights workers disappear while trying to help blacks register to vote. Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodman, and James Chaney are ambushed and killed by Ku Klux Klansmen. 6 weeks later, their bodies are found buried in an earthen dam. 1788. The Constitution of the United States takes effect as New Hampshire becomes the 9th state to ratify the document. 1834. Cyrus Hall McCormick receives a patent for his reaping machine, the grain-cutting invention that revolutionizes farming. 1982, a jury in Washington, D.C. finds John Hinckley, Jr. not guilty by reason of insanity for shooting President Ronald Reagan and 3 others. Hinckley, who said he shot Reagan to impress actress Jodie Foster, is committed to a psychiatric hospital. And finally, also that same year,
career in the armed services would be the best thing at the moment because, it'd be lovely to recognise all the hard work that the armed forces are doing.
Prince William, second in line to the British throne, son of Prince Charles and the late Princess Diana, is born in London. Today in history, June 21st. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,